Hello and welcome back to the cliffs at Durlston Country Park with me, Ali,
And me, Katie.
and here we are about to share with you one of the most exciting parts of Katie's year,
Certainly is.
which is
The first chicks showing well on the camera so we can watch them.
very
later.
exciting. We have some very fluffy chicks for you today. Before we do though, we thought we'd talk poo. And look at it all. Oh, the state of their housekeeping, absolutely disgraceful, Casey.
Oh, I don't know. It's quite impressive stuff, isn't it? Look at that. Just smell it. Can you smell
Lovely
that
high
fish?
definition guano. Look at that. In fact, if you walk along the cliff top at the moment, you'll know exactly when you're passing above this Guillemot colony. I think it smells to me like that stuff you feed to goldfish, these little fish flakes, which I assume are made of recycled fish, aren't they?
Sunbaked and everything at the moment. It's quite amazing.
So, have you found us a chick then?
Yeah, run right to the left-hand side. You can see it just underneath that chick, just up there, left-hand side in the middle.
Oh yes, just peeping out. In fact, that's the parent just sort of leaning forward to preen a little bit there.
It's moving
And there's
itself
its little,
up and down
little
with a
head.
tiny beak. This chick's about 2 days old now.
2 days, and it's
Yeah.
big already, isn't it?
Well, they start off quite big, of course. Have you seen the size of the eggs?
I read somewhere they say it's the equivalent of the human giving birth to a 2-stone baby, which then has to triple its body
28
weight
pounds.
in the next month. So it's going to take a lot of feeding. Little greedy, hungry chick there.
It's greedy at all. Oh, and talking about feeding.
Oh yeah.
Let's look
Oh
on the
wow.
right.
They got a sprat, is that? It's got there.
Yep, looks like a sprat to me.
And is that for it, or is it going to eat
That'll
that, or is
be
it?
for its chick.
Oh
You just see
yeah.
a little chick. Oh, you could until it got in the way, of course. Just going in there. It'll turn the fish the other way round, so its tail.
So it's not to choke it.
So it's not to choke it, exactly, yes. So they carry it with the head first and then swap it round so they can stick it in the...
And look at the way it's sort of tenting its wings over the chick there. So I guess that's to prevent the fish being nicked from someone else, is it?
Probably, yes. Yes, because, they've been a long way to catch that fish sometimes.
But they do the same, don't they? If there's a predator, if they feel the chick's being threatened in some way, they'll actually, oh dear, actually protect the chick by covering it up with their wings. A little bit of bill fencing.
That seemed a bit unprovoked, didn't it?
I know. What did he say?
I don't know. Could be anything, couldn't it?
I mean, it's a little like, isn't it? It's like getting a whole street of people, squashing them all into 2 houses and forcing them to live together for 3 months, and not just once, but every single year. So it's not really surprising the odd little argument kicks off. Well, they seem to get over it pretty quickly, don't they?
They do, yes. It could just be trod his head.
And they'll sort of kiss and make up often, won't they? They'll not just preen their partner, but they'll preen their neighbours a bit as well, won't they?
They will indeed, yes.
Just to
look, chick moving again, going up and down. See, there's a chicks underneath 3 out of those 4 birds we're looking at there as well. You can just see them. Aren't they cute? See, they get to be about 3 weeks they'll be on these ledges on average.
Okay, and they'll be losing that sort of fluffy downy fur that's there to keep them warm, downy feathers I should say, that's there to keep them warm fairly quickly, won't they? They start to develop something a little more like the adult plumage.
Yeah, I mean they're still fairly fluffy, even when they leave the ledge at 3 weeks old. Before they can fly, they are still quite fluffy, which is quite useful because they can float quite nicely at that point.
So I can't promise we'll be able to show you them leaving the ledge, but they have to jump, don't they? They have to plummet all the way down into the sea, because if they stayed longer until they'd actually got their fully proper adult plumage, mum and dad would be absolutely exhausted, wouldn't they? Because they're having to feed them huge amounts of fish, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean they come in, when we did our feeding study, it was anywhere between about 4 and 6 times a day they were being fed during the hours of daylight, which, considering they sometimes have to fly 30 or so miles away to get these fish, is quite a lot of effort put in for these very important parts of the wildlife.
So that's where the advantage they have, isn't it? They have these very strong pair bonds. They can share the babysitting, mating for life, obviously. And apparently they're fairly intolerant of poor parenting performance. So if there's a parent that's not properly pulling its weight, very often that parent won't be seen the following year, and that bird, that's one of the rare occasions they'll actually find a new mate, isn't it?
Yes. Who wants a poor parent alongside you, eh?
So these
oh, going out now.
yeah, let's have a little look at the wider ledge. So I don't Katie, I don't think I've ever asked you in all the years we've worked together what it is particularly about the Guillemots that you particularly like. It's what's
They're
the
just
appeal of them?
fascinating creatures. You know, there's so much to watch. You can like these clammers, you can zoom in and watch one area of a ledge for hours on end, and there's always something happening, always something going on. Another one going off there. They never stay still. They come back to the same spot every year, but they go out to sea. They're sitting right on the edge of the cliffs. They bob around in the massive waves.
You see, I always wondered if it's a bit like Durlston. These ledges are essentially a matriarchy, and in fact they will, although they'll accept new males in, won't they? New male partners who are strangers. The females will always budge up and make space for their daughters and their aunties and their sisters when they get to, well, usually it's somewhere, isn't it, between 5 and 9 years old when they're old enough to breed themselves.
Yeah, I mean, mostly they'll be breeding about 5, yeah. Sometimes a little bit later, but mostly at that sort of age. But yes, I mean, it's very important that they have more and more, because the more they can get on, the more successful the ledge is. It's one of the most successful ledges in the country. And the numbers on these. Oh, little chick just sticking its head out down there.
Yeah, it's just it was just being encouraged back, wasn't it? It was straying a little bit too far there, which is just hurried it back with her beak.
These chicks here are only at the most they'll be 4 days old, because they've only hatched out about 4 days ago. Another couple of weeks. Look at that little head coming up. And as they get older, they get more white on them as well.
I just spotted is that a bridle bird? I just spotted at the back.
Right at the back, yes, there it is.
Another one with those white spectacles you'll remember from an earlier episode. So this colony's on the increase then, it's growing.
It is indeed, yes. We had about 160 on this top ledge when we first started counting them. They're now over 200 on this ledge, so it's very successful. And they're all, the increase is mostly to the ones we're now looking at. So to this frame 5, as it's called, on the technical system of Guillemot numbering.
I guess that one in the middle there's got a chick, has it, from the way it's sort of bending over and
probably, yes,
attending to something, isn't it?
Again, that is the problem with watching guillemots, particularly now there's more of them. You have to spend longer watching to see something happen, because all these other bodies in the way. You often wish you had a little grabs thing you could pick them up with, look underneath and drop them back down again.
I don't think that's really allowed.
Is that not allowed? That's obviously why I haven't done it.
So they're doing well. I mean, that's not the picture, is it, sadly, nationally, with our seabirds generally?
Not at all. Particularly a lot of the Scottish colonies are really struggling. They seem to be struggling for food up there, because they eat sprats and sand eels, particularly sand eels further up north. The ones here sort of seem to be 50% sprats, generally speaking, when we've done our studies.
So we'll see if we can spot a few. There we go, flying in and out now, because they're wonderful to watch on the wing. It's such a distinctive flight, you couldn't mistake it for much else. I did a school group a few years ago, and a little girl said they look like they've got 4 wings, which I think is a very good bit of observation, those tiny little wings flickering away.
I was thinking I like little wind-up toys whirring as they go around.
A few down on the water, see if we can spot any more out to... Oh, hello.
It's a long way out, isn't it?
It's a long way out, isn't it? Big boat.
It's one of those. Close up of the underside.
So, anyway, there we go. It's not going anywhere, is it?
No.
There was our first little view of some of the chicks this year. Still lots more to come, I think, aren't there? So we will be back in the not too distant future. We can show you some more fluffy chicks, and we can watch them as they start to get a little bit bigger, which isn't really going to take that long. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this one, and we will see you again in a week or two's time. Goodbye.